What's up, guys? Over the hill rider here. Just going for a little ride when it cools down. Haven't been riding. Injured my leg. Can't really shift. So it's kind of hard to ride. My left leg's not cooperating, so it's hard to come to a full stop, put the leg down, and then just lifting the gears. Just that simple up movement with my ankle, I just can't do it. Today I could do it, but it takes me a bit of struggle. So I'm not sure what's going on. I think I just might have overworked my legs, just working and whatnot. But anyways, just wanted to make a video. Maybe some just basic tips for beginner riders, I guess. When you're at a stoplight like I'm at now, just pop that sucker in neutral so you can relax your arms, relax your back, and just take a breather. There's no need to have that clutch in. If you want, you can just turn off your engine, get rid of that noise, have some peace. Okay, I think the car is about to move, so I'm gonna shut it back on. Easy peasy. Pop it into gear. There we go. And when you do come to a stop, you don't want to be trapped behind a car. You kind of want to give yourself an exit. I would say your middle lane is probably the best, because your left lane here is the most obvious exit. If someone was going to come behind you and make a decision, they're going to go left. So it's probably better for you to just go in between the cars as an escape route. Always watch out for oil spots like right here. You know, you don't want those on your tires. Your two tires are your last chain of defense on your bike. It doesn't matter what expensive gears you have, body protection, helmet, whatever, even your riding experience, it doesn't matter. You get oil on your tires, you're done. You're gonna have a bad day. So first thing I usually do when I go on a ride, besides my own mental check, you know, I want to be in the right state of mind. If I'm feeling bad, or just, you know, sometimes you feel a little, I don't want to say reckless, but you're not feeling the best. So I avoid those days. Go out when you're feeling good, or you need encouragement, or you just need to relax and get some fresh air. You know, that's the best thing about a motorcycle. You can hop on anytime, and she's happy to take you for a ride. She's actually always begging for you to give her a little more gas. But I love her. She's my baby. Yes, I do. Okay, this is getting a little ridiculous. I'm gonna go between the lanes. I'm gonna keep it in first gear because I can't really shift, and it's a little louder. So when you're splitting lanes, it's better to have in a higher gear, because it's louder. People can hear you. You make your presence known, not to be annoying. And also, you have a lot more throttle response, a lot more control in case you need to jam out of a situation. So that power band is always there for you in a lower gear. If you're in third or second gear, there's a slight delay. Make a head check to your left, to your right when you come to intersections. You don't want to trust other people. You always want to be a defensive driver. driver. I think the most tiring thing for me when I go, say, to like Los Angeles, and it takes me like over an hour in traffic, it's not so much the ride. I know it's tiring on a sports bike, more so on like a naked bike, but it's more mentality that makes you tired, because you're always scanning, you know? You're scanning around you, behind you, in front of you. You check in for brake lights, people's head direction. So that's a dead giveaway. When people look to the left or right, you know they're looking to turn. That's probably the most sure sign that someone's gonna turn. But then you also gotta look for their wheels, you know, their front tire. If you see it slightly turning, or if they're kind of veering off to one side of the lane, they might be preparing. Or if they're doing a lot of brake checking, you know they're unsure of what they're doing. They may make a quick left or a quick right. So it's just awareness of your surroundings. My muffler honestly is a little bit too loud because it takes away from the enjoyment of the bike. I would like to hear my transmission and my air induction and just my gear shifts a little bit better than the whole sound of the exhaust. And if there's anything wrong, say I have a nail in my tire, or if my chain is too loose, I will hear it right away. I will notice it. But this loud muffler kind of takes away, you know, even kids running across the street, it kind of muffles that. So it's a give and take. I think on my side, on my personal level, it's a little bit louder than I want it. I took out the buff a couple days ago, so the baffle is out. It's a little bit deeper, a little bit louder, but I find myself speaking over it right now, which makes me kind of tired. When I'm already tired. When you're riding, you always want to be in an upright position. You want to have a lot of weight on your bottom of your heels, on the bottom of your both feet, equally, like you're riding a horse. You always want to be kind of ready for a big bump or a bounce. So I'm always looking for the car in front of me. If it bounces up or down, I know that I got to prepare for you know, further a bump, and I got to prepare my knees and legs to act as you know, shock absorbers. I'm short, so usually I'll just stick it into try to stick into neutral before I stop, which I didn't because my leg's not working. But yeah, now it's in neutral. But sometimes if you're going really slow in first gear, you can pop it into neutral right before you stop, and then you can just kind of hang out on your right leg, and then put your left leg right here, and then you always got your brake if you need to. But then if you're on an uphill or downhill, then I guess it's kind of hard to be chilling like this all the time throughout a whole long light. So then I'll just switch back. I'll just put my left foot down, and then I'll keep my right foot on the rear brake, and then I can still chill like this and just relax. But on a flat surface like this, you can just go back to your right leg down and keep your right foot on the gear shift peg, so that when it turns green, all you got to do is pop the clutch, and then one down, you're ready to go. Oh my God. Such a horrible feeling when your muscles don't want to cooperate. highly recommend glasses or a visor. I mean, eventually a bug or a little pebble is gonna fly in your eye and you're gonna have a really bad day. Even if you're wearing tank tops or shorts, if you're going like highway speeds and the car in front of you kicks up some rocks and it hits you, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna make you whimper a little bit. Let me try it again. The sticker in second or first gear, yeah. And then right before I stop, I'll try to pop it up into neutral if my leg will work. No. There we go. And I'm tired, so I'm just gonna relax on both legs. And guys, talking about safety, don't wear slippers like I do, but you know, I am who I am. Follow my advice, not what I do. I'm just all about comfort, and part of the reason I ride a bike and I continue to ride a bike is because the gear just kind of takes away from the fun. And so I wear the basic helmet and gloves, but everything else, it just takes too much time. It's just too hot, claustrophobic. That was hard, changing gears. Okay. Thank you, legs. Go gadget legs. Another thing you want to do is always relax your wrists and your arms. You know, you hit a bump, it's not going to transfer that energy up into your wrists, where you accidentally do one of these when you hit a bump. So you always want to be floating your wrist very light, you know, and that way your kind of control is better for your brakes, for your throttle, even when you're turning. You don't want to be too lean, you don't want to put too much weight on your wrists. You want to be loosey-goosey with your arms, your wrists. You want to use most of your strength on your inner thighs to grip that tank. And that's what I love about these Kawasaki's. They have these skinny, sexy ass waists, so short people like me can actually ride it. I mean, this Kawasaki is pretty tall. I did not adjust the preload because, I don't know, it just affects everything else. The sag, the rebound, the compression, it just kind of creates a shorter, I don't know, like a window. So for me, I like it more on the tighter end. I think it's safer at high speeds first, but it's more comfortable on low speeds for local riding, to have it more dialed in for a little bit looser ride, you know, for the bumps. But honestly, I like it tight because then it's less recovery time for the bike to get back into where it needs to be, and all I have to do is compensate with my legs. So I hit a hard bump, and this thing is really hard, you know, as far as suspension dialed in. It's probably dialed in for the track right now for someone way heavier than me, but it's okay. I don't mind it. You always want to look for your surroundings. Always look behind you, look to the right of you. Always be aware of your surroundings. And the Kawasaki is only upshift for quick shift, but you know, if you're used to downshifting and all the proper, you know, gear RPMs, you could actually downshift without even pressing the clutch. I mean, I did right now, but at the right RPM, you can just slightly put pressure down on the clutch and it'll just go in like butter. But yeah, it is technically upshift only, but I do use it to downshift from like 5 all the way down to second gear. First gear is not as easy and it's clunky, so I don't recommend it. But you know, even down to second gear you can downshift without using the clutch, as long as it's, you know, within the happy zone and you can figure it out yourself. Even on the upshift, I love the upshift on this. It's really nice. A lot of people complain, but I think technically it's because they haven't figured out how to use it yet. They're still trying to press the clutch in when they're using the upshift, which you're not supposed to. It just defeats the whole purpose. And the way to use the upshift is to upshift at the higher RPMs. If you try to upshift at the lower RPMs, say like below 4,000 maybe, it's gonna take a little more effort and a little more pressure, and it won't be as effortless. But at the higher RPMs, it's just automatic. And that's pretty much what this bike is built for. So I'm sure when they special tuned the quick shifter, they tuned it out so that you're doing it like what most people do when you're racing on the track, or when you're supposed to, you know, to get the maximum power output from the bike at the right times, you know. So yeah, sorry guys, my left leg's not working. I'm kind of hobbling. My shifts are a little bit delayed and I'm a little self-conscious about shifting gears. I have to actually think about it. I think in California you can always have your highlights on as a bike. You can split lanes, you know. That's kind of why I got this bike, or just why I ride a bike in California. It's just so much fun, saves time, kills a lot of stress. When you're missing your kids, right now I want to upshift so it's a little bit quieter. Alright, I'll try it. see, where do I want to go? I have no idea where I'm at. So maybe I'll just turn around. Yeah. Turn around over here, pretend I'm getting gas so I don't get a parking ticket for crossing the double yellow, look a little confused, and head back. Nice truck. The thing is a little bit too big for him, but to each his own. When you come to a stoplight, you always want to kind of avoid the center lane, because that's where all the oil spills and all the fluids. So, you know, you try to avoid the oil spots as much as you can. And usually when it rains, you know, you don't want to be the first one out on the road. I would usually wait for like at least an hour, wash out all the residue and the oils off the road. But whatever, just drive safe when it's raining. When it's hot, oh gosh, you shouldn't wear shorts because you're gonna burn your legs, even with a full fairing exhaust. I mean full fairing body. The heat from this bike is unbearable. You have to like stick your legs out at the very far end of the pegs, so you're as far away from the engine. Even when you're on the highway, the heat is just pounding on your legs. So you could get away with it with maybe a short ride, but for like a 1 hour ride or so, you're gonna pay for it. And I think that might have what happened to my legs. They just got toast, and my body's paying for it now. I literally toasted my legs for 1 hour in the heat, in the hot summer heat, and then the hot heat from the engine was just a bad combination. Where am I? One thing I always do, and it's become a habit, I always keep my 2 fingers on the front brakes. It saved me hundreds of times. That 1 second you need, or that even split second, it's gonna save your life. You don't even have to think about it. You don't even have to adjust your brakes so that when you extend them, it's right there, slightly under you, so you don't have to curl your fingers above the brake. All you need to do is subconsciously, oh my God, there's someone just cut me off. Your finger's already squeezing it, and then your other finger's pressing the clutch as your left foot is downshifting. Like, you need to practice that emergency drill, because it's not gonna happen naturally unless you've been there, done that a few times, and then you naturally just kind of, your body does this instant grab the brakes, press the clutch, downshift, release it when you're able to, all that good stuff. Look in the rearview mirror, all at the same time you're avoiding the crash. Also recommend that you don't use your rear brakes as a beginner rider. just so you can instill that habit of using your front brakes, because honestly your rear brakes are pretty useless. They don't really do anything. They help stabilize your bike when you come to a front stop. Like right now I'm using my rear brakes first, that way I don't do a front nosedive, so that comes in handy. Another thing that comes in handy is when you use your front and rear brakes together right before a stop, you get a nice smooth transitional stop versus just using the front brake alone, but you could if you get really smooth with it. The rear brakes, they're not reliable when you're in the rain. It's going to require a lot more pressure because your brake calipers are wet, everything's wet. I love guys who have trucks with the American flag. Go Trump! You know he's a Trump supporter. You know, Democrats, they don't even put the American flag. It's all about complaints. Where am I? I have no idea where I'm at. Wow, I feel so much better. Thank you, Kawi. I call my girl Kawi, short for Kawasaki. Kawi from Cali. She's my girl. Like right now, I can pop her neutral, and then I would use my right leg to keep the bike from going downhill. But then I have to switch over right when it turns green, and it's gonna look silly. So what I'll do is I'll just stick it in first gear right before it's turn green, so that I'm ready to go. So I'm not doing the little hoopty dance. You know, this bike has so much more than I actually use. Like, I really baby it. I don't even go all the way up to the 14 RPM. I mean, there's really no need unless you're on the racetrack. We're trying to show off or get yourself in jail, but I'm so happy with this bike, man. For the size, for the power it puts out, for the weight to power ratio. It's skinny, it's lightweight, it's sexy, sounds amazing. The engine is a true super sport, top of its class. I mean, besides the recalls, you know, it's okay. They fixed it. As long as it's not gonna break down, I'll be happy. The only thing I have gripes about is maybe the electronics. But honestly, I don't like all that electronics. It takes away from the bike, especially for beginners. I think a beginner should just get the most basic bike possible, so they can learn how to auto blip, how to change gears, how to downshift, how to ride in the rain without ABS or rain mode and all that 6-axis AMU stuff. It's gonna save you, yeah. I think as an experienced rider, it does come in handy, but for beginner, I think you should definitely start on a basic bike to get your fundamentals down. Also, if you're a beginner rider, I know it's very easy for you to just turn with your hands, with your wrist, apply pressure on the handlebars. Yeah, it works, but it's just the flickering of the bike. You don't actually turn the bike. You just kind of initiating the turn, so to speak, because the bike is so heavy and the gyroscopic effect of the bike, you can't affect it. You need something with more inertia, with a lot more weight, a lot more body mass, like your head or even your upper torso. So if you're gonna turn, I usually use my hands last, to be honest with you. Like if I'm gonna turn, I'll kind of wiggle my butt, my lower half of my core body to initiate the turn, along with my head. So I'm kind of doing like a dance move, you know? I'm like turning my head and then I'm shifting my body like this. If that even showed on camera, it probably look really weird, so I'm not gonna do it again. But yeah, that's kind of how I initiate the turn. And I flicker my butt a lot. I know it sounds funny, but like at high speeds, when you want to be really precise, all I need to do is kind of like all that right there was just flickering my butt back and forth. And it's like instant response.